Hello, and thank you all once again for joining into the
Mobility
Mobility Bros.
Bros.
If you don't know, I'm Coach Clif, and I'm here with my host of the most, Ron Hilton, and we'll be covering athletic mindset, mobility, pain reduction, the thoughts and processes of practitioners, and the mindsets of our clients and our members. Today, we have an amazing special guest, the Red Gorillas himself, Mr. Todd Cambio. How are you, Todd?
I am doing great, man. How are you guys doing?
Awesome.
Awesome. Love it.
Doing great.
Awesome.
So yeah, I would like to just introduce Mr. Cambio. I'll read a little. His bio is short, so I'm just gonna read it off real quick. So Todd, aka the Red Gorilla, is an elite StrongFirst team leader, master instructor for Spartan, and fitness elite for Lebert. He's a strength conditioning coach that specializes in helping you get stronger, leaner, and more athletic. Todd believes in training the whole body from fingertips to toes. He trains movement patterns above all else, then adds strength and conditioning into the equation. Todd wants to he wants you to dominate whatever life throws at your way. Boom.
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic,
Love it.
man.
Love it.
How did you put that together, that bio, that mission? Let's talk about just your experience over the years. How long have you been coaching people, seeing results, and getting people to understand your methods?
Well, it's literally been lifelong athlete, always participating something from basketball to football to BMX racing, mountain biking, all that stuff, and snowboarding now in the Hampshire in the winters. I just found the more I'm active, I don't only feel better mentally, but physically. You know what I mean? So, or I should say, not physically, mentally. I feel great all the time. I'm always positive. Um, and I just feel that, I got stuck in the classic bodybuilding routine way back when I was learning. And I just always felt like I was actually, not that anything wrong with bodybuilding, don't take it that way. Just that I was like, as a high school boy, what did I like? Bench press. Let's bench. How much you bench? That classic thing. So I found out I was getting really strong chest, shoulder, tries, but then I'd forget my back. I'd forget the pulling exercises. I'd do my quads and I'd never do my hamstrings. I was just missing pieces. I was picking and choosing, based on aesthetics even, or, just what I thought I liked to do. And I started to get hurt. So, I was getting those. I don't know what you guys talk about for ratios of strength, strength ratios like hamstrings to quads, like over 3 to 1, you're looking for trouble. So, or anything not in that 3 to 1, 3 to 2 range, you're looking for trouble. So I started to get hurt, man, and I had to fix it. And I just started getting, physical therapy, going to actual strength coaches, and not just reading Muscle and Fitness magazine. And I started to get better, feel better. My performance got better. Of course, the attitude, the mental piece comes in. You feel better, more confident about yourself, your abilities. And I just realized, for me anyways, and what I preach is full body, fingertips to toes. Like, you got to move in all these patterns. It's not just pick things up and put them down.
I
So
love
that's the
that.
short version.
That's awesome.
That's so real. I love what you said there, because just to take a moment to recognize you were stuck in what we've done since high school, like back and buys, chest and tries. Everyone that I talk to that hasn't had a true experience of mobility training, balance and stability training, core engaging training, at a stabilization level to a power level, they're stuck in like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. I just pick up this thing, I read this program online, or I'm just doing these particular body parts. And as a boy, we're narcissistic sometimes. We're just having this image thing sometimes. All we see is the front of our body, so we just get stuck in that anterior quads,
Mm-hmm.
chest, what we can
Yeah.
see in front of us, and we forget there's a whole system behind us and a whole system that incorporates it. So taking that experience and now helping people learn from fingers to toes is something that I hold dear to my heart, because I truly believe like it's the best way to teach somebody from stabilization to strength to power how to use their body before sticking them into any machines, so that they're pushing and pulling, unless it's a medical situation and it's only way they can truly move. get them to move their body and teach them muscle mechanics, teach them how the joints are supposed to support, not supposed to lift the weight, and all the different things. So that's fantastic, Todd. I love that.
Yeah, no, awesome.
That's awesome. So Todd, I know we met at the local YMCA, and interesting, just a quick interesting story. I was a fitness attendant there, and just starting out, breaking my way into the fitness industry. And I saw him doing some stuff I'd never seen before, and I'm a social butterfly, right? So I just I just started talking to him, and he, after a while, we, over time, we just started developing a little bit of a friendship. And he's like, "Hey, you want to come work for me?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I guess my question to you is, like, what really inspired you to start your own gym, to build your own facility?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because it truly happened organically. So it's funny how things work. Everything comes back again. Life is 360 in many aspects. So I was originally, a big athlete. Like I said, I wanted to be a professional athlete. I thought I was going to be a professional BMX racer and downhill mountain bike racer. So I was training at a sports specific facility. Loved it. Best gains in my life as far as performance and injury reduction. But at that time, I was still a teacher. I was a high school teacher, high school football coach. Football is my other passion. I've been coaching it or involved in strength and conditioning pretty much until COVID. And I just realized that, like, I loved everything about the fitness and the coaching piece. Like, I didn't realize how much coaching there was at that time, just in lifts, just in movement patterns for warm-ups and things like that. So I really started with my football team, my football athletes. When I first got them, when I first became a strength coach, go back to what we are just talking about. What kind of program are these football kids using? They're using back and buys one day, chest and shoulders, then leg day, and then we're gonna run 3 miles. I'm like, you're a football player, man. You do maybe 3 to 5 seconds of explosive movement. Why are you training slow, endless hours? What are you doing? Like, this is fast twitch. Let's go.
Exactly.
So yeah, everyone's getting hurt. They're slower, injured. So I revamped the whole strength and conditioning program with my limited knowledge at that point. And we had no injuries. We had kids getting just making like all division, all state that they hadn't had. They won more games that year. I took over the strength and conditioning program than they had in the past 5 years. And we're not talking major milestones. I'm talking from 0 wins or maybe 1 win a season to 5, which is a big step. And then they kept progressing. So not saying it was all me. There's a new football coach as well who had the, woke up enough to realize that the strength and conditioning was not working. So I took that over. But then you realize, like, wait a minute, this guy's getting his athletes better. Football players are doing better. They're feeling better. They're more confident. Put record boards in the gym, all that fun stuff to amp it up. And it's like, basketball coach is like, could you work with my kids? Sure. Then it's like, girls lacrosse coach. Hey, would you work with girls? I'm like, of course I work with girls. Like, let's go. Everybody can lift. So it happened very organically. I started getting all these teams and working with them in the off season. And then I just did strength and conditioning or speed agility camps in the summer. And as a new teacher, first couple of years in, you look at what you make in the short time frame in the summer, you're like, wow, compared to what you made 10 months out of the year, 9 months out of the year, and you're like, I could make a go of this. So it was pretty much like that. It was a bunch of little intermediate steps along the way, but end of the day, I said, I can do better owning a gym and training athletes and whoever else than I could being a teacher financially. So I took my love of working with kids and just put it into all the athletic arena type stuff. And I opened a gym, loved it, had a gym right up until I moved up to New Hampshire.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
and Ron knows all those stories as well.
Yeah,
a lot of history.
So I know Cliff was going to talk a little bit about the kettlebells, but so interesting story too is, like, I was kind of like I started out being the kettlebell guy at our facility, and at the time Todd wasn't even sure about kettlebells. He wasn't like,
nope.
He was not sold.
I was not sold.
Yeah, he wasn't sold, and then I just kept, so I bought this ridiculous program. I'm not going to say the program, but it was actually a ridiculous program. And I thought that was the cat's pajamas when I bought it. And I got a lot of my workouts from that, and thinking back, I was like, oh my God, I could have got hurt, but it's all a learning experience.
Mhm.
And then I think what kind of brought you around was when I worked on getting one of the RKC guys to come down to do
Mhm.
a clinic, and that kind of solidified everything for both of us.
Yeah.
Knowing that, what I was doing, and just leveraging that. I know, Cliff, I know you had a specific question yourself about bells. What did you want to ask?
Yeah, I did, but I think you guys answered it. I was gonna ask what's the history behind the kettlebells, because I know that was a big thing on the bio. I saw him on a
Yeah.
picture with the kettlebell on it, and I wanted to know, how did the kettlebells get into the Red Gorillas, and did you use it to evolve your speed and agility training
Yeah.
program?
Well, actually, I can kind of backtrack on what Ron just said and kind of lump that all into an answer, I think. So when Ron introduced kettlebells, it was actually my second time being introduced to kettlebells. My first time, and this is not any means to be disrespectful to CrossFit, but the first place I saw kettlebells, CrossFit. And I just couldn't, and I'm a strength conditioning coach working on strength and power, speed, agility. And I'm just watching them go overhead with this thing. And I'm just sitting there like, and of course I try it, I do it. And I'm just kind of like, all I feel is my back and my shoulders, like not getting better. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't know about this. I don't like it. And then I had another coach who's a CrossFit coach who started showing me all this stuff with the bell, but it's all stuff they're doing in CrossFit. And again, throwing no shade on CrossFit. I was at one for years. I love a lot of what they do. I just did not agree with their kettlebell stuff. That's all. Um, and I was just like, I don't see this helping. I don't see this helping me get better in any sport I'm doing. I don't help this seeing me improve like my speed, my strength, my power. I'm like, what's happening? So I kind of shelved it for a while and, like whatever. Then Ron comes up with it. He's like, yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that. It's all strength and power like you talk about. So I'm like, all right, I'll look into it. So, together through Ron leading the charge there, we did get involved with the StrongFirst, or at that time, RKC instructor. And I kind of learned the history of the kettlebell and how to use it for what I was looking for, strength and power. Totally different. Like I'm talking night and day difference between the styles. And then to just throw a little more fun on there, I recently got involved with the sport kettlebell, which again, whole nother style. It's like, going for that 100-meter, dash to like a 10K race, like two different things, right?
Yeah.
Two different animals.
Yeah.
And now I am throwing myself in the ring of that kettlebell sport world because I want to know about it. If I'm going to be an expert, I want to know all of it. So I did the CrossFit. I worked out of there for a couple of years. Once I moved up here to New Hampshire, I've obviously know StrongFirst and RKC and Hardstyle because I still work for them. And I am now throwing my hat in the ring, so to speak, with sports. So I want to be all encompassing. I want to know all of it and why they do what they do, what's the benefit of each style and things like that. So, yeah, that's where I am. I'm trying to be the
That's
expert.
very
So
cool.
learn by doing. Learn by doing.
I love that you're taking it, you're physically doing it, you're experiencing it, you're analyzing it, you're looking at how it can help speed, agility, power, implementing in a program. You're recognizing, you're not talking trash about any particular technique or program or whatever. You're just recognizing what fits best and where things don't align. And if they're not congruent and they don't align, instead of being out of integrity and just shoving it in, you're staying in integrity and moving through it. And that's beautiful. There's a lot of things that I love about CrossFit. I think CrossFit is designed for that Reebok CrossFit event, and everyone's going to be moving, and their body shapes and everything's kind of similar. When you start CrossFit, you're going to have this similar boxy, because there's a lot of overhead stuff, and you'll look great if you want to look like that. You'll look great like that. If you want to be a bodybuilder, look at the bodybuilders. You notice they all kind of look similar, right? Maybe they're shorter or taller, but the lats are a specific width. They're all trying to get that width. The abs and the hips and the waists and the thighs and the quads and the hamstrings, they're specific because they're training in that particular sport technique, and then vice versa. You look at an athlete, a runner like Usain Bolt, and you're like, wow, he's super fast, he's built, but he's not a CrossFitter. Nope. And he's not a bodybuilder, but he's in hell of a good shape. So there are different, like you said, there are different strokes for different folks.
I like it. Yes, true.
And
Truth. Very
and I
true.
love
Very
how
true.
you said that. Now, you also were a gym owner. I know as a gym owner, the pandemic has has done ravished, and a lot of people
Yeah.
survived, a lot of people didn't. But before even the pandemic, you had some obstacles you had to persevere. Can you tell us a little bit about that story and how you overcame it and how you continue to persevere in your business and your career?
Yeah, well, so a few obstacles. One, so the pandemic was a little different for me because I didn't actually have the brick and mortar any at that point anymore. I'd already sold that. But I was still running a business. I was still teaching multiple gigs a year for Spartan on location, traveling all over. I was still teaching multiple workshops and certifications for StrongFirst. So a lot of traveling, and I was all over. And midweek is where I had my athletes. I did strength and conditioning for athletes locally, a couple one-on-ones here and there, and a little dude crew, I called them, my dad crew, that is still going to this day, very strong. But yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah. So Ron jumped in on one of those. So
I
I was
did. I
good.
did.
But
That's fun.
so like everybody else, yeah, the pandemic hit, it got shut down, just shut down, boom. And like anything else, people are getting antsy. They're wondering where they can go. So I kind of went underground, so to speak. I had a small little the Gorilla Den, the studio in my house. So I started allowing some of my athletes I knew well and their parents, because they kept texting me and calling me to, can you take the kids yet? We'll wear masks. We'll do this. We'll be safe. I'm like, sure, let's go.
Mm.
So what we ended up happening was getting a bunch of kids, consent, of course, and we wore masks. We followed all the guidelines, and we did some workouts. And then, but it started to grow and catch on too much because we're still in the pandemic. Kids are still only Zooming in school. They weren't even live yet. I had to move it to my garage. So another organic situation. I had to just create a gym in my garage. I have a full gym in my garage. I have the horse mats down, the rack that comes down and up off the wall, tons of
Yeah.
kettlebells, all that stuff. So it's a pretty darn nice little garage gym, two bays, and I just started training athletes out of there and regular people, and just having a fun time.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. It's amazing. So people just didn't let you go. They would not let you drop it. They're like,
would not let me go, unfortunately. So
that's phenomenal. That's a great way to persevere through it. Because I've always wondered like how so many people, some people had to furlough their whole team and all this stuff. So now you also mentioned that you're an instructor. You help. So what is Strong First, and how do people get involved, and what is that career like being on that side of the certified personal trainer world where you're helping instruct people?
yeah, yeah. No, it's great. I love it. I'm an educator at heart. I'm back in education in in high school as well. So I've always been there. Like I said, life comes back. So I've been a high school teacher, started working for a company like StrongFirst, where I'm teaching their curriculum, which I love. It aligns with my beliefs so well. You get a little behind the scenes stuff as a team member, team leader, where we get to test some of the programs out. We get a little bit of the science before it's released to the public. So we're like beta testers for a lot of stuff, which is
That's
cool as
cool.
well. So
Yeah.
it's just nice to have an organization that values education so well. And they stay in their lane, they do their thing. They are StrongFirst. They teach strength, that's their main purpose. But they've branched out into other things. We have resilience, we have strong endurance, we have all these like pretty cool things. We have body weight, barbell, and kettlebells. We're not just kettlebells. So
Mm.
great organization, does some great things. And yeah, I'll be at a lot of those events. So
That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. Ron, you got yourself an awesome person that you've aligned with, and you
I
worked
know
with
we've
him,
been,
right?
God, we've been friends and for I would, God, I'm gonna say almost 20 years, maybe give or
hey,
take.
we're closing that gap, man. We're
Close to
closing that
that gap,
gap.
man. We met
Yeah,
in our early 30s,
yeah.
basically. So I remember when you actually had a full head of red hair, like
I know, I know. Well,
so.
it was pretty much when I moved to the Westerly and Pawcatuck area of Connecticut. So my son was a newborn. So we're going on 17 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, legit 17. Like, boom.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. So tell me something, Ron, that people can know between
Okay.
you and Todd for the last 17 years. We want to hear how you guys, I know you guys said a little bit about working together. There's some stories in there, but how is that building friendships in this industry with integrous people that are doing amazing things? keeping it going for a long period of time, what are some positive things that, whether you're an instructor or you're a practitioner or you're a client, what are some valuable things, some insights about this world we're in when we keep our friendships this long?
Yeah, so it's been great. I always look at Todd as being a mentor. He's been a phenomenal mentor, actually. He started out when he started out initially started out at his gym. The gym was like 45 minutes away from me. And then when he brought it closer to town, to basically closer to where I lived, it was like 15 minutes. But for a while, it was just me and him, and I was his on-site
Hmm.
evening trainer and on-site massage therapist. And I helped him move his facility, I think 2, 3 times.
At least
Right, two times.
one. No, technically three. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 times. I helped
Yeah.
him move
Yeah.
his facility 3 times, and the third location was it was a hot mess when we went in there, but
Hmm.
it was the perfect location. Although it was a hot mess, it was a perfect location.
Yeah.
It had 2 bathrooms with showers and everything.
Yeah.
It was another facility prior to that, and we just went in there and did our thing, and we just kept growing. I mean, Todd ended up bringing on more trainers. He did bring on another therapist, and we just kept growing and growing, and our relationship just kept growing. And I was with Todd for solid 7 years.
Yep.
Um, and then I kind of decided that I needed a little bit of a break, so I kind of started doing my own thing out of my home, and but our friendship just kept growing. And then now he lives in New Hampshire, and we still talk, we still hang out. I still go up
Yep.
there, and if I have questions, strength conditioning questions, I always call him. And um, a couple of years ago, maybe like 2, 3 years ago, he has 2 programs that he created, but the one's called the Fab Five. And that was his first test pilot for the Fab Five, and I had
Yeah.
some huge gains for that.
Mm.
So that was really good. So yeah, we've had a phenomenal friendship relationship over the years, and I think we kind of learn from each other. But definitely, if I have any questions on something, he's always a phone call away.
Yep. I could definitely echo all those sentiments. It's been great. I lean on Ron as well. He even to get certified for StrongFirst or my first kettlebell, he had to fix my shoulder. I had so much scar surgery in there. Like I relied on Ron just to be able to get my arm overhead so I could pass the damn first cert we did together. So I mean, it's like, yeah, he he's a peer, a mentor in the recovery world. It really is. So it's a true back and forth relationship we have. We both work on our strengths and kind of guide each other in those realms, and just lean on each other when we need it. And yeah, I go down to Connecticut every so often. He comes up to New Hampshire every so often. And we just yeah, just keep doing cool stuff, fun stuff, trying to stay ahead of the curve. Yeah, it's been a good relationship. So keep it rocking, right? Keep it awesome.
Absolutely.
Be legendary.
Be legendary. So
No, that's so awesome. I love hearing it, because you guys shared and edified each other so well with what you brought to the table, Todd, and what Ron brings to the table, and how that relationship becomes valuable because it's a phone call, you know, even that little tidbit about him helping you pass your test by helping you gain more mobility, you didn't have to look for someone who would know what you're doing, know what to do. You trusted and knew Ron could do it. And because of that relationship, you were able to continue to
Mhm.
move forward. It's beautiful. Now, you mentioned you got 2 programs. What are these 2 programs? And
All
also, real
right.
quick, for the people who are watching, if you are a kettlebell enthusiast, write down in the comments what you've done, what type of programs you like with kettlebell programs. If you're inspired by what Todd has been able to do as an educator that turned from educator to gym owner to educating gym owners, write that in the comments as well. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to know what you think about this conversation. If you have any questions, Todd's information will be in the description as always. So please let us know what you think in the comments. Share, like, and subscribe. Todd, so I was asking, what was I asking? I
The
was
2 programs. I can help you with that. I know
yeah,
those.
what are you? I'd love to know about your programs, before we wrap up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I have 2 main programs out right now. One is called the Fab 5 Kettlebell Challenge, Fab 5, because 5 general moves that I consider to be the basics of the hardstyle kettlebell world. So you should be able to obviously squat and press. And for ballistics, you got to be able to swing, you got to be able to clean, you got to be able to snatch. So if you can do those 5 basic things, what I did is I combined them into a program where it's actually a challenge called the Fab 5 Challenge, where you do single arm bell up to 125 reps an arm, 250 total. Or if you're advanced, a little more advanced, you could do double bell challenge, Fab 5 Challenge, which Ron absolutely loves. And yeah, you get up to 125 reps, all within under 18 minutes. So it can be quite taxing, but it's full body. It is a push, a pull, you know, it's a hinge, it's a squat, it's all those things in there. And that doesn't even include the warm-ups. You know, so my warm-ups are very in-depth. That's where I sneak in all the other movement patterns, whether it's a rotation, a single leg, single arm, the core, things like that, lateral movements, things like that. But so that's one of my programs, Fab 5. It's generally 5 weeks for the baseline program. If you're a little more advanced or been into bells, if you're brand new, it comes with also a 3-week base builder. So you can do up to 8 weeks total on the Fab 5 program. The new one is called Swing for Your Die, because I am in New Hampshire, you know, live for your die. So we swing for your die, you know, we swing bells. But there's a little truth to it. I'm not a young pup anymore. I'm getting older. So what are the first things that go when you're aging? First thing is always grip strength, and then your power explosiveness goes. So what does Swing for Your Die work on? A lot of that power, grip strength, of course, strength is in there, ton of mobility. But this one is a little different. It gets into all the different complexes. So it challenges you by becoming more athletic. Because I have found as I age and people I work with, they just stop moving. They stop playing basketball, stop like doing things that challenge them to stop, go, change direction. So you slow down. You lose those fast twitch fibers. And you know, I just think it accelerates the aging process. So I threw those things in. There is speed, agility, quickness drills built into this program. And then on top of that, I added like taking the Fab 5 and stacking up some more athletic style complexes or movement patterns. Things like the armor building complex that Dan John made so popular. Things like devil's presses, which I got from CrossFit. Devil's presses are awesome. They're literally a double snatch overhead, and then you swing them down and you jump down and do a push-up and then pop back up and repeat. So it's kind of like a burpee, double snatch, all rolled into one, plus a push-up. There's things in there called gorilla cleans, gorilla snatches. All these things take a lot more coordination than just swinging a belt. So now it's one arm's going up, one arm's going to the rack. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just challenging you, to be a bit more coordinated, a bit more athletic. And that's just the bells. Never mind the groundwork, you know, the ground-based work and/or the speed agility work. So a lot of stuff going on. There's always warm-ups, 3 warm-ups every program. Always a cool down in there, kind of a yogi zen type cool down thing. I'm no yoga master, but I will do yoga moves.
Yes. Awesome. Oh, it's so awesome. Your programs sound exciting, sounds challenging, proprioceptively, contralaterally. You know, it sounds like there's a lot of different moving parts in there so that you're working, you know, the frontal plane, transverse plane, like you're getting it all in there, whether it's in the warm-up or through the snatches, and helping people continue to stay active and move, getting, you know, and you're recognizing the aging population. And a lot of programs that I run into tend to forget the aging population. They like their 25 to 40-year-olds a lot. And like, I've always worked with 55 and up. You know, my clients were with me prior to COVID for 12, 15 years. So they went from the 45-year-olds to the 55-year-olds, you know, and the programs had to evolve with that. So I love what you're doing. It sounds like you're doing some exciting, amazing stuff. I look forward to talking with you more, learning to know more about you, and I appreciate what you're doing. Do you have any final for the people? Any last words you want to share for the people who are listening?
Oh man, just keep moving, man. Don't think about what it is. Keep moving, do something, find a little bit of a passion, whatever that may be, so you have something that you can always go back to. You know, if it's a sport, so be it. If it's lifting itself, so be it. Just you know, hit all those movement patterns and stay consistent. Number one thing, I'm 50 now, stay consistent. That's it, stay consistent.
That's beautiful, Ron. That's beautiful. I think I don't have anything else to say. I think Todd said it all.
I think you covered it.
Wow. So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Mic drop. Ron, thank you so much for bringing Todd into our ecosystem. I appreciate this relationship. I respect this relationship and I honor this relationship. So thank you so much, guys,
Yeah.
for being who you guys are. Ron, any finals for the community?
Nothing. Just like, comment, share, and I want you to stay awesome, keep stepping greatness, and be legendary. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Peace
See
and
you on the
love.
next one.